been alive during the days of the patriarchs, when we read about their mistakes and their failures, when we read about the failures of those in the wilderness, if we had been there, we certainly would have done a whole lot different. We would have made the right choices. We would have never made the mistakes that they made. Right? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 4 of the Torah portion Eikev. Let's go all the way over to chapter number 8. Chapter 8 of Deuteronomy, and begin reading with verse number 1. Guard to do every command which I command you today, that you might live and shall increase and go in and shall possess the land of which Yahweh swore to your fathers. And you shall remember that Yahweh your Elohim led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you, prove you, to know what is in your heart, whether you guard his commands or not. And he humbled you and let you suffer hunger and fed you with manna which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahweh. Powerful words. So let's begin with the beginning of this, and this opening phrasing of this chapter. One more time, we are commanded to be shomer. The word shomer meaning to put on your armor and draw your weapon and stand guard, to protect, to observe, to protect by observance, to keep from falling into some other form. You guard something by protecting it and doing it. And so that's what we do with the Torah, is that we guard it by doing it. We protect its integrity by doing it with our whole heart. By doing so, two things are mentioned to us as a result. Number one, that you might live. Now, certainly there are people who say that they're living who do not have any idea what Torah is, let alone its commands. But are they living? There is a difference between existing and living. You can get up in the morning, go through your daily routine, and go to bed at night. To get up, rinse, and repeat. You can experience the varied moments of life, working, procreating, eating, laughing, crying, etc., and never really accomplish anything, and you've existed. You were born and you existed until you died. Now, certainly there are those that have risen to great heights and they've achieved great things, notable things. Their name may be well known. They may have a lot of money. But according to the Torah, if you're not walking in righteous relationship with Yah, if you're not finding him and breathing him and exuding him, you're still merely existing until you die. Living, genuine living, is walking according to his commands. For in them we have life. Later on in this book, we're going to read, I think in chapter 30, behold, I set before you life and death. Hint, hint, choose life, he says. How do we choose life? By walking in obedience to the Torah. So it is the Torah is the way that we walk and we live. It is the word walk here, halakah, halak. It is our manner of chosen obedience, our manner of walking out what we know to be true. We have made halakhic decisions. This is the way that we will observe the Torah. And you must do that then with a sincere and a genuine heart. The second thing that he says that will take place when we are shomer of the Torah, guarding it and protecting it by a walk of integrity with it, is that you will go in. And that is that Torah obedience enables us to receive our inheritance. Think about that again. When we walk according to the Torah, it is our obedient walk that enables us to receive our inheritance. The Torah, walking in its commands, is the means by which Yah is training you and I for kingdom living. When the kingdom of Yeshua comes to this earth and Yeshua reigns over this earth, the Torah will be the constitution of the world. The United States Constitution, the Magna Carta, and all these other legal documents that nations have proudly come up with will fall to the wayside, and the world will be judged, ruled, and reigned over by none other than the Torah. The very same Torah that you and I are reading and studying and seeking to be observant of now. I'm sure that in that day, Yeshua will expand upon and expound upon the Torah according to Isaiah chapter number 2. If you read verses 1 and 2, you will find that the word of Elohim will go forth from Jerusalem. Excuse me. Yeshua will teach us, and we will all find out where we were right and wrong in regards to the Torah. I want you to notice also that it is not our merit, our great achievement, our superior knowledge that grants us entrance in the kingdom. The giving of the land of Israel is not about any of those things, but rather it's about a covenant promise that Yah made to our fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov. Now, of course, when we look at their lives, we say, well, they made mistakes, and we wouldn't have done that if we were in their day. Certainly we would. We'd have probably done worse if you want to be realistic about it. Because the question should be asked, are we really any different than our predecessors, than our ancestors? And are we not expected to go through similar testings as to what they went through? Have we not gone through similar testings and yet maybe not coming out shining quite so brightly? And so we need to understand that Yah is saying to us as we continue in this reading that the Father is looking in times of testing to prove what's in our heart. The wilderness setting is on purpose, intentionally is the word I'm looking for. It is intentionally designed to reveal the inward content of our heart. And again, we're not talking about the muscle in our heart or in our chest. We're talking about the awareness of who we are in our inner being, our rationale, our reasoning, our mental understanding of things. Yah is looking to prove. Now, He already knows. He knows our thoughts even before we think them. But you and I need to know two more things. Let's see if I can squeeze this in. You don't know who you are until you have been pushed and shoved and pressured. When everything is running smoothly and there are no issues, anybody can glide by with a big smile on their face. But when the pressure is put on, when hardships arise, when you're tested beyond the place that you think you're capable of standing, when you're in that very traumatic turmoil of things, that's where the real you will begin to surface, and you'll begin to see what you're made of. We in these last days are about to get ourselves pushed. Don't be surprised by that. We are already being pushed. But the response that we have should be then prayer and seeking His face and the study of His Word. If we will do that, if we will base our responses on what the Word says and not what the words around us are saying, then we will find that the Word of Yah will be in our heart and in our mind and our understanding, and we will begin to respond according to or respond to world events or issues that arise to us, not based on what the fear factor is around us, but what the Word says. If we would do that, And secondly, we are about to get ourselves empowered. Pushing brings empowerment. More tomorrow on this. We'll talk to you then. Until then, shalom.